Alright guys, so we have a 2007 Toyota Sequoia, and the complaint is the rear liftgate does not latch. And if you take a look, and this is the way they've been driving it for the past week. Well, this latch is probably gummed up for one, but let me see if I can. I'm going to have both hands for this. Let me see. What I'm going to do is put this screwdriver in here and pull down on this latch while I activate the handle. So let me do that real quick and get this unlatched. Okay. So now it's unlatched. So this is probably gummed up. It probably needs to be replaced. We do have the part, but I just want to verify that that is the problem, and that is the problem. And you can see that the this is supposed to be like a Teflon Teflon coating that they've got on these latches, and that Teflon wears out, and then the latch becomes real gummy. It doesn't spring back the way it should. And what I mean by that is, like, with that latch like that, I should be able to hit this lever, and that should spring back nice and quick, and it's not doing it. So in fact, let me show you on the new one. New latch. See how that nice and easily springs open? That's the way they're supposed to work. So it looks like, to start off with, we're gonna need to take this off, pull handle, 10mm, and then I think this cover, yeah, okay, yeah, that cover just snaps off. And then of course the trim's gonna have to come off. We got 3 10mm there, whatever's on the inside of here that we're gonna need to disconnect to get that latch out. But I'm guessing this is gonna be a pretty simple job. So let me get all set up. So these side pieces need to come off, looks like. And then this whole piece here, I think, wants to up and off there like that. And we got a cover here that we're going to want to take off. Actually, yeah, that's a pretty good sized cover. This module. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take this off. I'm going to let it hang. This is a pretty good size harness, and it's being supported by these plastic clips. So I think if I just let it hang, that will be fine. We'll see how heavy it is. Yeah, just like that. It's hanging just fine, no problems at all. There's a little wire retainer right here that I'm going to push in and out of the way. That way that harness is more free to move. The next step, I'm going to take these 3 bolts out and I'm going to see if that frees it up to where we can get to it. Got a cable in here that we're going to want to snap off. And there you have it. Old latch is out, less than 5 minutes worth of work. Now we just got to swap this one, this old one, out of here and put that new one in. So far so good. Again, you got a couple little screws here that I think we're probably going to have to take out, and then a little plastic clip. There we have it. Just got to swap this door lock actuator. That's what I'm assuming that is. Over to this one. Again, looks like a couple screws. Alright. Fish this back into its housing. Pretty straightforward. Just remember which way all this goes. connector's sunk way in there, so I'm going to get some needle nose and just pull it up. I think I've got it. Snap the connector in right there. Position this so that those holes are lined up. Hopefully you can see those. Put those two little screws in and this piece, and then as long as that original cable's good, we'll go back with it. If not, we'll put the new one on. This is aftermarket, so I'd like to try to, if the original parts are good, then I like to try to stick with the original parts as much as possible, because the original cable may be better than that aftermarket one. This is about as straightforward as it gets. Then you're just going to clip that right down in that little housing right there. With whatever tool, there you go. Whatever tool seems to work for you. So now, okay, so this new piece is all on, cable's secure. The one thing you want to do is make sure you got full travel whenever you pull the handle, because a lot of times that lever will get bent. As they've been trying over the years of trying to get this thing to work, they'll put more and more pressure on that handle whenever they're opening it from the outside, and it bends the little arm that's attached to this cable. I'll see if I can get a picture of that. Let me show you another problem that this thing's got. So if you look, let me see if I can get some light up there. If you look right there, that lever and where the cable attaches, it's slightly bent, so it's not getting full throw whenever they lift that lever up. And that's the reason it's bent, is because that old latch has been hanging up. So people have a tendency to put more and more pressure on it, and it bends that little lever. And let me see if I can. So that piece right there, I'm going to bend. I'm going to use 2 pry bars, or try to. I'm going to hold this bottom piece while I slightly bend that piece just to get a little bit more throw. I don't know if I'm going to really be able to show you. I'll show you the before and after. You just saw the before. Got it in there loose right now. You got a little cable. Now this cable was not clipped into its little holder, but we'll get it clipped in there. Make sure everything's looking good. Don't forget, hook your plugs up. Snap this little harness back in there. This is the one that goes down to the door lock on the unit. that piece back on. Now it's just a matter of putting this back on, and before I snap the trim on, the cover, and the two pieces over there and there, I'm going to shut it and make sure it works. So you don't need to see this going back on, it's just putting the screws back in, and then we'll test shut it. Alright. Let's give it a try. Make sure that is in the unlatched position. Now it's shut, and it opened. Shut, and it opened. We'll call that good. Now in this trim, any of these that, any of the little, I still call these style Christmas trees, but any of these little Christmas trees that popped off, unpop them from the surround here. For instance, I only actually see one that didn't come off with the trim, and it's that one right there. Looks like all the others came off. Some look like they were missing. But you're going to want to put those on the plastic trim. Like that one came off. Snap them in. That way your trim is nice and secure. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this trim on and call this job done. You guys take care.